Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the We're Gonna Make It podcast show. The podcast where we dive headfirst into the most thrilling and sometimes mind-bending advancements in tech. I'm your host Harshdeep, and today we're in for a wild ride. We're going to explore a fascinating research paper by Leopold Aschenbrenner that offers a sneak peek into a future that's as exciting as it's unnerving. Now, before we dive in, I want to make it crystal clear. We're not here to endorse any particular viewpoint. Our goal is to inform and spark a discussion, not to push any agenda. What we're about to discuss might sound like science fiction, but it's based on real research and trends. The fact that it might not unfold exactly as predicted is what makes this topic so exciting. We're opening our minds to different perspectives and possibilities, and that's where the real adventure begins. Remember, the beauty of science and technology lies in its ability to challenge our preconceptions and push the boundaries of what we think is possible. So let's approach this with an open mind and a healthy dose of critical thinking. We're not just presenting information, we're inviting you to question, to challenge, and to contribute to the conversation. Today we're going to delve into a topic that's not just fascinating but also crucial for our future: artificial general intelligence, or AGI. Its potential to reshape our world in ways we can barely imagine is a subject that should pique the interest of every tech enthusiast, researcher, policymaker, and individual interested in the intersection of technology, society, and geopolitics. So buckle up. We're about to embark on a journey into a possible future that's as thrilling as it is controversial. Whether you end up agreeing with Leopold's predictions or not, I guarantee you'll come away from this with plenty to think about. So, let's dive in and explore these ideas together. Start by picturing this. It's a crisp morning in San Francisco and the air is buzzing with excitement. But it's not about the latest app or social media platform. The talk of the town is something far more profound: trillion-dollar compute clusters. Yes, you heard that right, trillion, with a T. Now I know what you're thinking. Come on, it's another hyped up tech story, right? But trust me, this isn't just another incremental upgrade we're talking about. This is the kind of leap that could redefine what it means to be human. We are standing on the precipice of something truly extraordinary called artificial general intelligence, or AGI. So let's start by breaking this down. AGI isn't just a smarter Alexa or a more efficient autocomplete. We're talking about machines that can think, reason, and problem solve just like us, or even better. And according to some of the brightest minds in Silicon Valley, we could see AGI emerge as soon as 2027. And that's just around the corner, folks. But here's where it gets really wild. By next year, 2025, artificial intelligence could potentially surpass the intellectual capabilities of college graduates. And by the end of this decade, well, it might outsmart us all. To understand how we got here, we need to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane. Cast your mind back to 2019. Remember GPT-2, right? That AI model that could string together somewhat coherent sentences. Well, it was like a toddler compared to what we have now. Fast forward to 2020 and we have GPT-3, which was more like an elementary schooler. It could perform simple tasks and even generate basic code. Then came 2023 and boom! GPT-4 hit the scene like a teenager with a PhD. This thing can write sophisticated essays, solve complex math problems, and even outperform most high school students on standardized tests. The leap from GPT-2 to GPT-4 in just 4 years is like going from bicycle to a supersonic jet. But how do we measure this insane progress? Well, in the world of AI, we talk about something called OOMs, or orders of magnitude. Each order of magnitude, or OOM, represents a 10-fold increase in computational power or algorithmic efficiency. Over the past 4 years, we've seen about 1 OOM per year, and that translates to a mind-boggling 100,000 times increase in effective compute. It's like upgrading from a pocket calculator to a supercomputer in a blink of an eye. Now here's where things get really interesting. If this trend continues, and many experts believe it will, we could be looking at AGI by 2027. But hold on to your hats because we might not stop there. We could be hurtling towards something even more profound called superintelligence. Imagine AI systems that aren't just smarter than humans, but so far beyond comprehension that they're like gods compared to ants. We're talking about a swarm of hundreds of millions of AGIs, each one a powerhouse of intelligence, working on AI research and compressing a decade's worth of progress into a single year. This could trigger what's called an intelligence explosion, which is a phenomenon that could leave human intelligence in the dust as we see it. To put perspective to this, think about a leap from an atomic bomb to the hydrogen bomb during the Cold War. The atomic bomb was incredibly powerful, sure, but the hydrogen bomb, it made the atomic bomb look like a firecracker. Similarly, AGI will be groundbreaking, but superintelligence will be a whole new ballgame, potentially changing everything we know about, well, everything. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but what does it mean for me, for my job, for the society? Well, get ready because the implications are nothing short of revolutionary. These superintelligent systems could solve complex scientific problems that have puzzled us for centuries. Curing cancer? Child's play. Reversing climate change? Just another Tuesday. Unraveling the mysteries of dark matter and dark energy? Well, consider it done. And it's not just about scientific breakthroughs. The economic implications are staggering. We're talking about AI-driven automation that could lead to growth rates of about 30% per year or more. To put that in context, the global economy typically grows at about 3% annually. It's a fundamental shift in how our economic functions might work. Moving on, think about it this way. AI systems that can read and understand every scientific paper ever written, develop deep intuitions about complex fields like quantum physics or molecular biology, and then generate breakthrough discoveries at a pace we can barely comprehend. Or maybe think about an AI that can design and optimize entire cities, solving issues of urban planning, transportation, and sustainability in ways we've never seen before. But with great power comes great responsibility. And the challenges we face are as daunting as the possibilities are exciting. One of the biggest hurdles we're up against is called Superenlightment, which is ensuring that these incredibly advanced AI systems remain under human control and act in ways that align with our values and safety protocols. How do you control something that's way smarter than you? It's like a toddler trying to supervise a room full of Nobel laureates. Well, the current methods of guiding AI behavior, like reinforcement learning from human feedback, work well for systems like ChatGPT. But what happens when AI becomes so advanced that we can't even comprehend its actions or reasoning? So it's not just a theoretical problem. If we can't solve for superalignment, we risk creating AI systems that could engage in behaviors we can't predict or even control. In the worst case scenario, this could lead to catastrophic outcomes. Maybe a situation comes up where an AI system decides to pursue its goals in ways that are harmful to humanity itself, but does so in such subtle and complex manner that we can't even detect or prevent it. So it's like teaching a genie to grant wishes only to realize too late that it's interpreting our wishes in ways we never intended. We could end up in a monkey's paw situation where we get exactly what we asked for, but with unintended and potentially disastrous consequences. So anyway, before we start stockpiling canned goods and building a bunker for ourselves, let me assure you it's not all doom and gloom. Many experts believe that superalignment is quite solvable. We've made significant progress with our current alignment techniques, and there's still a lot of low-hanging fruits in this field. However, solving this will require an extreme degree of competence, seriousness, and willingness to make tough trade-offs. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The race to develop AGI and superintelligent isn't just like a tech industry competition. It's a geopolitical arms race with stakes higher than anything we've ever seen before. Whoever achieves superintelligence first could gain a decisive economic and military advantage that would make the Industrial Revolution look like a minor upgrade. Think about the Gulf War as an illustration. Despite having comparable number of troops and equipment, the US-led coalition obliterated the Iraqi army in a mere 100-hour ground war due to technological edge. Guided munitions, better sensors, superior fighting jets. Now, imagine a similar technological lead but amplified by superintelligent AI. A lead of just 1 or 2 years in superintelligence could mean complete and utter dominance on the global stage. And this is why many experts argue that the free world, which is supposedly led by the United States, must win this race. If democratic nations maintain a healthy lead, we have to have a better chance of managing these precarious transitions safely. But if we are locked in a tight race with authoritarian competitors, well, the risks skyrocket. It would be a grave mistake to underestimate them in this race as well. While they might seem to be lagging behind due to export controls on American chips, they have a clear path to competitiveness, outbuilding the US in compute infrastructure and potentially stealing algorithmic advancements. I'm saying this because some of these authoritarian nations has already demonstrated the ability to produce 7nm chips which are sufficient for powerful AI applications. While there are debates about yield and scale of their production, it's plausible that they will achieve large-scale production in the near future. They have the industrial capacity to build massive training centers required for AGI, potentially outpacing even United States in sheer scale. So, this brings us to another critical point: security. Right now, the security measures at leading AI labs are woefully inadequate. We're essentially handing over the keys to AGI to potential adversaries in current situations. So, this needs to change, and pretty much fast. We need to treat the secrets of AGI development with the same level of security as our most critical national defense secrets. Imagine if during the Manhattan Project, the plans for the atomic bomb were protected with the same level of security as a typical tech startup software. It's unthinkable, right? But that's essentially what we're doing with AGI research right now. We need to implement advanced security measures such as air-gapped clusters and hardware encryption to prevent AI systems from self-exfiltrating and causing harm. So as we barrel towards this new frontier, the industrial mobilization required will also be quite staggering. We are talking about investments in trillions of dollars building out massive GPU data centers and power infrastructure. So by 2028, we could be looking at an individual training clusters costing hundreds of billions of dollars, each requiring power equivalent to a small or medium state in the US. And by the end of the decade, we might see clusters costing over $1 trillion, needing power equivalent to more than 20% of entire US electricity production. Isn't that mind-boggling? To put this in perspective, consider Nvidia's data center sales. They skyrocketed from $14 billion to $90 billion annualized in just 1 year. But this is just the beginning. Companies are already securing massive amounts of power from future clusters. For example, Amazon has acquired a 1 gigawatt data center campus next to a nuclear power plant. And that's enough to run a small city all dedicated to AI computation. So as we approach the end game, likely around 2027 or 2028, the real battle will be on. By 2029, the intelligence explosion will have started, and by 2030, we'll have summoned superintelligence in all its unprecedented power. Whoever is in charge of this project will face an extraordinary challenge, building AGI quickly, mobilizing the economy to produce millions of GPUs, securing infrastructure, rooting out espionage, and fending off attacks from potential adversaries. They'll need to manage millions of AGIs, automating AI research, achieving decades worth of advancements in mere years, and creating AI systems far surpassing human intelligence. They must prevent rogue superintelligence from seizing control as well, leverage these systems to develop new technologies to stay ahead, and integrate advancements into defense forces, all while navigating the most intense international situation ever. Now, the implications of AI race are staggering, not just for technology, but for national security and global power dynamics. Superintelligence isn't just another technological milestone, it's a potential game changer for the future of humanity. Historically, technological advancements have often been double-edged swords, offering both incredible progress and new means of destruction. Nuclear weapons, for example, brought a precarious balance of power during the Cold War. Superintelligence could disrupt this balance in ways we can scarcely imagine today. The potential for new weapons of mass destruction, advanced bioweapons, and autonomous military systems means that stakes are higher than ever. We must prioritize safety, security, and international cooperation to ensure the benefits of superintelligence are realized without unleashing catastrophic consequences. The most pressing challenge will be navigating the intelligence explosion responsibly. This period will be marked by rapid advancements and unprecedented risks. We must remain vigilant, adaptable, and committed to ethical development as we venture in this new frontier. Alright, as we wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with a thought again. Whether it unfolds exactly as predicted remains to be seen, but one thing is clear, we're on the brink of a technological revolution that could redefine what it means to be human. The choices we make in the coming years about research priorities, security measures, ethical guidelines, and international cooperation will shape the trajectory of this revolution. We are standing at crossroads in human history. The decisions we make will now echo through the ages, potentially shaping the destiny of our species and perhaps even life in the universe. Am I going too far with this? Maybe. It's a sobering thought, but also an incredibly exciting one. We have the opportunity to be a part of something truly transformative to help steer humanity towards a future unimaginable progress and possibility. But we must also be cautious. The road ahead is fraught with dangers, and one misstep could lead to catastrophic consequences. We need to approach this challenge with a combination of ambition and humility, pushing the boundaries of what's possible while keeping in mind the potential risks and unintended consequences of our actions. Now, folks, I want to take a moment to offer my own perspective on what we've discussed today. While the research paper we've explored paints a dramatic and often alarming picture of our AI future, I think it's crucial that we also consider a more balanced and optimistic viewpoint. First off, let's acknowledge that predictions about technological progress, especially in the field of complex as AI, are notoriously difficult to get right. While the timeline proposed in paper is certainly possible, it's also possible that progress might be slower, giving us more time to adapt and prepare. Moreover, I believe that development of AGI and superintelligence doesn't have to be a winner-takes-all scenario. International cooperation in AI research and development could lead to a more stable and equitable future. We've seen examples of successful international scientific collaboration like the International Space Station or CERN, so why not for AI? Another point I want to emphasize is the potential for AI to solve some of humanity's most pressing problems. Yes, there are risks, but there are also immense opportunities. AI could help us combat climate change, cure diseases, optimize our food production, and even help us become multi-planetary species. The key is to approach AI development with a focus on beneficial outcomes for all humanity. The paper we discussed paints a picture of an arms race, but I believe we have an option to choose a different path. We can decide to prioritize safe and ethical development over speed. We can choose to create international frameworks and agreements to govern AI research and development. We can also opt for transparency and collaboration over secrecy and competition. As for the concern about AI alignment, while it's certainly a crucial challenge, I'm optimistic about our ability to solve it. Humans have a remarkable track record of rising to meet seemingly unsurmountable challenges. We've split the atom, landed on the moon, and mapped the human genome. With focused effort and global cooperation, I believe we can develop robust methods to ensure AI systems remain aligned with human values and interests. Let's also consider the potential for AI to enhance human capabilities rather than replace them. The future might not be AI versus humans, but rather AI and humans working together in ways we can't yet imagine. This collaborative future could lead to a new renaissance in art, in science, and human achievement. Lastly, I want to emphasize the importance of public engagement in shaping our future. The decisions we make about AI development and deployment shouldn't be left solely to tech companies or governments. We all have a stake in this future, and we all should have a voice in determining how it unfolds. So while it's crucial to be aware of potential risks and challenges associated with advanced AI, let's not lose sight on the incredible potential for positive change. With careful planning, ethical considerations, and a commitment to common good, I believe we can create a future where AI becomes a powerful tool for human flourishing. Remember, the future isn't set in stone, it's something we create together, day by day, decision by decision. So, let's approach this AI revolution not with fear, but with hope, wisdom, and a determination to harness this powerful technology for benefit of all. As we close out this episode, I want to thank you all for joining me on this mind-bending journey. I know we've covered a lot of ground today, and some of it might seem overwhelming or even scary. But remember, by understanding the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, we can better prepare ourselves to shape the future we want to see. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this episode of WGMI. I apologize for the recent inconsistency in our podcast schedule. My startup, Empathy, is taking up most of my time now. But the good news is it's performing well, making strides in mental health tech space. If you found this episode thought-provoking, please like, follow, and share it with others. Your support means the world to me and helps us continue to bring these important discussions to a wider audience. And remember, we have the power to shape the future to ensure that coming technological revolution serves humanity rather than subjugates it. So let's stay informed, stay engaged, and above all, stay hopeful. Because together, we are going to make it. Goodbye.